This is Stephen Armstrong from AGA here to help you with navigating the online CRA site for your corporation. I'll not be going over all the features at this time as it'll take too much time, but I will be going over the ones I use 90% of the time. This is a website where you can log into your business account. I'll put the link in the description below for how to be able to get here. Click on My Business Account. I have mine set up as option 2, so CRA user ID and password. I recommend you use this also, but it's personal preference. If you haven't signed up for your account yet, you won't be able to get in yet, and you'll have to look at a different video for being able to set up your account. So once you get to this screen, you just put in your user ID and password and click login. This screen just shows you the last time that you logged in, so you can just click next. I just need to change the corporate account. So if you have several businesses, you can choose the business you'd like to see through this box right here. I just wanted to change it so it's a corporate account. The first thing I'll show you is mail. So if you click under My Business Mail, you can go down here and you can grab any of the mail you've received from the CRA and just click on the PDF to grab it. I always use the back button, works fine in this site also for navigating, so I just hit the back button. Then it brings you back to the main screen. So submit documents. This is for if you have an inquiry with the CRA and they ask you for something, they usually say you can use the submit documents. You click on submit documents. Put in your case or reference number here. It should be on the piece of paper. If there is no case or reference number, you just click here for no case or reference number, and you have to select one of these options to be able to send in the documents. I can't show you the rest of the process. I don't have an inquiry right now, so I can't take you all the way through it, but basically from this screen you just choose dates and upload your documents and hit submit. It's pretty basic from here. So the first thing I'll take you through is GST HST. The one I use the most is the view and pay account balances. So if you click here, this is every period, so it's 1 year period. So this is every GST return. It'll show you your balance. If you owe on multiple years, it'll total it up at the bottom exactly what you owe. This company doesn't owe anything, but if you want further details, you can just click on the balance. Like for example, October 31st, 2020, you click on the balance. And it'll show you what you're assessed for, when the payment was made, and that it took the account to zero. The other thing is you can click on view account transactions and you can go back further in time and choose your dates and things to that effect if you want to dig into it further. The next one that I use with GST is view expected and file returns. So if you click here, it'll show you what your next or your expected returns. So this one isn't due till 2022, but it'll show when the next return is due. And then it'll show everyone that you have filed, and you can click to see the details, and it'll show the the status. So I like to check this one to make sure my GST is up to date. If I'm not sure about the reporting period, quarterly, monthly, this is where you can check that. That's the majority of what I use for GST HST. The other thing is manage your address. So this is your mailing address, so you can update it through here. But when I click here, it's not available at this time. So I can't show you that, but it's pretty basic. You can also change it so that you can get your documents via email as opposed to mail. And when you get them via email, they'll send you an email, they'll say you have a document, but you do have to log into this site and go up to mail to be able to grab it. So it's not the most convenient. That's the that's the big things I use a lot on GST. For payroll, view and pay account balance. So if you go down here, it'll tell you the amount you paid for the year. It'll tell you the amount of the T4. I have not filed my T4 yet, so it just has a balance there. But for prior years, it'll show you. And then if there's any balance here, like this is a credit, so that means they owe me because I haven't done the T4. If it isn't a credit's amount due. The other thing is you can click on the year to be able to get greater detail. So 2019, you can click and it'll show you that I did my payment and then I filed my T4 and it was for the exact same amount, so the balance is zero. It's kind of if you have a business that's doing payroll every month and you're not paying the exact amount of the sources deductions, this becomes a giant mess because they don't have a column here that shows the balance. If they showed the balance here, it'd be really easy to follow, but they only show the balance every once in a while, so it becomes very difficult and convoluted to follow. But the information is there if you're willing to wade through it. Also under payroll, I will look at the view return details. So this just makes sure that my T4s are processed. So I can just make sure my T4s are up to date. That's the majority of what I do in payroll. The other thing you can do is provide a nil remittance. So if you don't have payroll that month, then you don't want the CRA calling you, you can provide a nil remittance in here so that they don't give you a call. And then the next one is corporate income tax. So, the other thing is if, say you don't have a payroll account, this will not show up in your account. So if you don't see one of these, it just means it isn't set up yet. It doesn't mean that you don't have access or anything like that. You'll have access to everything that's open. That's part of the reason I chose this file is because majority of things are open, so I can take you through everything. Corporate income tax is similar to the GST, so I go to view and pay account balance. And you can see there's nothing due, October 31st, 2019. The other thing is, just like GST, you can click down and... So, see here, it doesn't show. That's because you have to go to view account transactions. And then if you choose a time frame of 7 years, you can actually see everything. So they only give you a limited view right away. You have to dig down further if you want something from the past. And then view return status and details. So this will show that all my corporate tax has been filed and assessed and it's all up to date. Information returns, these are dividend returns. So if you take your money out of your corporation via dividend, you have to file a T5. And the only thing here is view return details, and you can just see that everything's been processed. So you can make sure your T5s are up to date. The other thing is, if you're not sure what account you should be looking at, it'll show RZ. So if you get a thing in the mail and it has your business number and then it says RZ0001, you have to look at information returns. If it says RC0001, you have to go to corporate income tax. Payroll's RP and GST's RT. So if you ever get a piece of mail and you're not sure which one you should be looking at, and this will tell you. Alright, so that is the basics and the things I use the most on the CRA websites for corporations. If you like this video, you can do a thumbs up or you can subscribe, and we'd really appreciate it. Thank you.